In this video, I'm going to show you how to find contractor bookings for your Airbnb properties. So first and foremost, there is no magic website for this. There's no one size fits all, and basically you've just got to do a lot of activity to drive direct bookings. But these are some of the key areas that you can start with, and they should get you some serious traction quite quickly. So number one is your low-hanging fruit. So what I mean by that is people that are already staying with you. Ask them if they're coming back, ask them what they're currently working on, how long they're here for. Time and time again, I see people where they get a booking, they don't even collect the right email address. They just allow them to come through the channels, and then they go away, and then 3 weeks later they book again, and the host is wondering what happened to them in the 2 weeks before, in between. Well, they went somewhere else because you didn't do anything about it. So your low-hanging fruit is the easiest place to start with. And if you have been wise and you are collecting an email database, then you should be sending messages out to this database at least once a week, just with, not so much offers and trying to pitch them into business, just send them really informative articles about what's going on in your area, how you can help them, if you've got any vouchers that, you may partner with certain restaurants, whatever it might be. But where they staying, where they're working, who else is working with them, potentially even pitch a referral scheme to them if they would give you some details of who other companies that are on the jobs with them, if you're going for the contractor bookings. There's so many things that you can do by just reaching out to your low-hanging fruit. So that's the first place to start. The second one is van stalking. So what you want to do is on a Monday and Tuesday night, you want to, between probably 6 and 8 p.m, is just drive around all your local hotel car parks, being a bit of a stalker, and just simply take a photograph of all the vans that are in there. And then the next morning you want to be ringing those companies and asking them how long they're staying for, start telling them that you've got accommodation in the area, and you will get business from this. You'll get thousands of pounds worth of business from committing to doing this. Now, if it doesn't work on your first visit, don't let it put you off. It's like anything, it's about being consistent and just showing up. But if you do that every Monday, Tuesday night for a few hours, you will get some traction on your business. You'll start pulling these contractors out of hotels into your home away from homes. So it's really important. You can also take that one step further and do site stalking. So site stalking is basically driving around your location, having a look at the building sites that are going on, jumping into the car parks, jumping into the gravel car parks, and just seeing what companies are in there. You can actually get out and start talking to these people. There's no shame in it. You're going to offer a service. You just go and introduce yourself and build trust. And again, this is time well spent if you do it correctly. Now, another one would be build relationships with local estate agents. Estate agents typically only do 6-month tenancies, but there's plenty of people that get trapped in between a house move. I've personally been there in the last 12 months where we sold our house, we didn't have anything to go into, and we needed accommodation for 2 months. Luckily for me, I've got an Airbnb portfolio that I can rely on. However, most people don't. So they need short-term accommodation. You tie up with an estate agent, you give them a kickback, obviously, make it worth their while. They're going to introduce you to people that are in between that stay. They could potentially be selling the house for them and then putting them into a new house. So it will work for all parties, and it is a really good strategy, but you've got to put the time and effort in. You've got to build trust with the estate agents. Next up is building trust with football leagues. So if you are in a town where there's some lower league football teams, not really going to work for the Premiership, but the lower league football teams, when transfer windows are open, quite often players will come on trial for a couple of weeks at a time, sometimes even longer. Now, these lower league players need accommodation, and their budgets aren't like the Premier Leagues. They're not going to stay in 5-star hotels, so your accommodation is perfect for these types of people and these types of footballers traveling. So get in touch with the lower league football teams, make connections, make them aware that you've got properties where you can host anybody that needs some short-term accommodation. Another one is connect with your local councils and university managers. You can do this via LinkedIn. They're quite easy to find, and you'll find out when overseas students are coming to stay in the area, and when there's projects going on, or the council have got certain requirements for short-term housing, then they will reach out to you and again ask you for availability on your properties. And finally, and this is a paid platform and it's not for everyone, but once you've got a decent sized portfolio, there is a website called Barber API, which basically shows you who has won the contracts in certain locations and who the contractors are going to be. So you can, it's real-time information, but it is quite a costly software, so I wouldn't recommend it if you're just starting out or you've got a small portfolio. But it is quite powerful if you have got a decent sized portfolio and you want to, really up your direct booking game. But the previous tips that I've given you will serve well, and you'll get so much from it as long as you take action and you put them in play. As always, if you want more information, you want a free Airbnb formula ebook, then head over to my Instagram page, official Ryan Luke, and hit on the flow page link in my bio, and you'll be able to download a copy amongst many other goodies such as the serviced accommodation webinar. Hope you have an awesome day and get after your van stalking.